Hello and welcome to the second day of the Yulin Dog Meat Marathon. Today we'll be discussing safe dog meat preparation because that is a concern that a lot of people may have about the idea of eating dog meat, and I was certainly one of those. I thought the idea of eating dog was just disgusting because I've seen what dogs do, the kind of things that they eat, including their own feces, and I decided that I would never want to eat dog in my life. But after doing some research and understanding the actual difference when it comes to dog meat compared to other meats, I realized that it's just meat. When it comes to meat consumption of any kind, what's important is the food handling and the internal temperature. As long as you practice basic food safety and you heat the dog meat to an internal temperature of 175 degrees Fahrenheit at least, it's just meat. The Humane Society International warns that dog meat is a significant threat to human health and that the dog meat trade has been linked to outbreaks of trichinosis, cholera, and rabies. And while this may be true, these articles fail to mention that better regulation within the dog meat industry, thoroughly cooking the meat, and practicing proper food handling safety would eliminate the risk of contracting these diseases. So, I would more so vouch for just better regulation within dog meat slaughterhouses, not banning dog meat outright because it's stupid to say that it's wrong to eat this one animal when, I'm probably going to eat meat tomorrow. It's just meat. Similar websites also fail to mention that the consumption of any undercooked meat has almost identical risks because you can get trichinosis from eating undercooked or raw pork. But they don't vouch for the banning of pork, do they? They'll tell you to cook the meat properly with the proper internal temperature to reduce these risks. But with dog meat, they say, oh, dog meat can give you trichinosis, let's just ban it outright, and I think that's kind of silly to do. If there was better regulation in dog slaughterhouses, then they would get rid of dogs that test positive for rabies or these other diseases, and if it was cleaner, these risks wouldn't really be an issue. Eating any meat doesn't really come without its own set of risks, including beef, because if you eat too much beef, you're overloading your body with iron, which can lead to cancer and heart disease. So, with eating any meat, including dog meat, it's about moderation and food safety. So, what are the actual steps to preparing dog meat safely? Well, with any meat, you want to soak it in a brine solution to replace the blood with saline. This process will also make the meat more tender. The general ratio for a brine solution is 1 cup of salt for every 1 gallon of water. The nice thing about the brine solution is that you can actually add other flavors to it as well. So I've seen some people use lemon juice or ginger. But you don't want to soak it in the brine solution for too long. You want to do it about 2 to 3 hours per inch of thickness. Because if you over brine it, then it'll become too salty and the meat will kind of get soggy. After soaking it in a brine solution, what you want to do is rinse it with cold water and rub the surface of the dog meat with cornstarch and then rinse that in clean water numerous times. So after you rinse it, you want to blanch it for about 3 to 4 minutes. And what that's going to do is to remove any remaining blood or impurities. Most recipes will recommend adding a teaspoon of salt to the water when you blanch it, but me personally, I would slice some garlic and ginger and also add a bay leaf and some lemon juice or star anise so that the blanching process doesn't strip the dog meat of its flavor. And then once it's blanched and the meat is strained, it can be added to any recipe that uses meat. See you next time, guys.